Election Day 2025 is just around the corner, and millions of Americans are getting ready to cast their votes. But one of the biggest questions people are still asking is, what time do the polls open? What time do they close? And what do I actually need to bring when I go to vote? Let's break it all down, clearly and simply. Poll opening times. Across the United States, the time that polls open depends on your state, and sometimes even on your county. In most states, polling stations open between 6 and 7 a.m. local time. Some open as early as 6 o'clock, others closer to 7 or 8. If you want to be safe, aim to arrive around 6:30 a.m. That way, you're first in line when the doors open. What time do the voting polls close? Polls generally close between 6 and 8 p.m., again, depending on your state. For example, in Pennsylvania, polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. In Virginia, it's 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. And here's an important rule. If you are already in line when the polls close, you still have the right to vote. So don't leave. Stay in line until you cast your ballot. Where should you go for voting? You can only vote at your assigned polling location, sometimes called your precinct. This location is usually printed on your voter registration card or can be found online through your state election website. Most polling places are in public buildings, like schools, community centers, or churches, right within your neighborhood. To find yours, visit vote.gov or usa.gov/election-day and enter your address. What items do you need? Before you leave home, make sure you have what's required to vote. In most states, you'll need 1. Proof that you're registered. 2. A valid form of identification, like a driver's license, passport, or state-issued ID card. Each state has its own ID rules, so check them ahead of time. You must also be a U.S. citizen, at least 18 years old, and registered to vote in your state. Here's what happens when you arrive. 1. You'll check in with a poll worker. 2. Show your ID if required. 3. Sign your name in the voter book or digital tablet. 4. Receive your ballot, either paper or electronic, depending on your state. 5. Cast your vote privately and securely. And that's it. You've done your civic duty. Every polling location in the U.S. is required to be accessible to voters with disabilities. If you need help marking your ballot, you can bring someone with you, just not a campaign worker or candidate. And remember, you can also vote early or by mail if your state allows it. Finally, go through the checklist and make sure you have not missed anything. 1. Double-check your polling place before Election Day. 2. Go early to avoid long lines. 3. Bring your ID and your patience. Voting lines can be long, but every vote matters. 4. If you encounter a problem, you can call the Election Protection Hotline at 1-866-OUR-VOTE. So, to recap, most polls in the United States open between 6 and 7 a.m. and close between 6 and 8 p.m. If you're in line before the closing time, you're still allowed to vote. Bring your ID, know your polling place, and make your voice heard. If you find this video helpful, please kindly subscribe to Veil of Mystery and share this information to someone who might need it. This November, your vote is your power. Make it count.